As we all know now, the murderers of a 20-year-old Jewish security guard at the Rami Levy in Gush Etzion have now been identified as Palestinian police officers. This should come as no surprise to any of us. Most of us have known for years and years that the Palestinian security forces, all of them, have been populated, if you will, by former terrorists. I have to really argue against that word former because they never stopped being terrorists. And if you look at the kind of indoctrination and propaganda that is spewing out of the PA every day in print, in their print media and their electronic media, in the speeches their various ministers give, it's a wonder that more of this doesn't happen. So the question now is enough. How much is enough? That's the question. And I think we've reached that point. We've had a wonderful and interesting, I'll put it that way, a wonderful and interesting development with these 5 sheikhs in Hebron that want to throw off the yoke of the PA and create perhaps what they call an emirate. We can discuss the actual characterization of this in detail with them. And they want to join the Abraham Accords. They don't want their areas where their clans are turning into Gaza. They've had it with the PA, as we have, as well, I think. Now, as I've said before, Bibi would have been better advised to have met with these sheikhs in his office in Yerushalayim rather than going to Washington, pomp and circumstance. I'm sure that his wife, Sarah, would have violently disagreed with that, but sometimes Bibi has to dispense with his short pants and assume the role of a leader. What are we to do now with this situation? The first thing I thought when I heard about this atrocity in Gush Etzion is the fact that the families of these 2 murderers are now going to be subsidized by the PA, the pay for slay. And yes, they may deny it and they may, weasel out of an admission that they're doing it, but they're doing it. They will be doing it. So my first reaction when I thought about this was there's a ministry in Ramallah that is responsible for this pay for slay program, and I think it's a prisoners. It's a ministry that deals with the freedom fighters and prisoners and shahids, martyrs, and all that. We should take that building out during working hours. The whole building, just take it out. And then we should go on and dismantle the PA's propaganda mill. That means their radio, TV, internet, and print capabilities. Because all they're doing is just spreading Jew hatred through these various media outlets. They encourage things like what happened in Gush Etzion just recently. And I think at that point, the armories of the various Palestinian security forces should be taken out as well. We know where they're storing their arms. We know where they're storing their armored vehicles and their cars and everything else. You take it out, all of it. And as far as various ministers are concerned, starting with Mahmoud Abbas and the rest of his government, we already demonstrated that we can take threats like this out quite professionally. And this is what we should do now. And we should bring forward this idea of the Emirates, initially in and around Hebron. Certainly the terrorists who is the current mayor, PA mayor of Hebron, should be eliminated as well. And the entire PA security force in and around Hebron should be eliminated as well. I'm not talking about that they should be arrested. I'm talking about eliminating them. As for the terror cities of Jenin, Tulkarm, and Kalkilia, these three in particular, it's enough with these in and out commando raids, which just raise the probabilities higher that one or more of our guys, our soldiers, are going to get hurt or killed. Evacuate the cities, put the men in particular through a special cleaning, what they call a sanitation or cleaning process involving gunshot residue cloths, check their hands, check their backgrounds. And this is for men and males aged 15 and above. Separate them out and get the rest of them to Ramallah, packed into Ramallah, and then go about the business of obliterating these three cities. Just obliterate them. There's nothing left. As far as movement on the roads, there's no movement on the roads. They can travel by bus to Jordan, to the Jordan River Valley, and they can leave. If anybody wants to move around, they can leave one way. We're not stopping them. If they want to go to Syria, that's fine. There's evidence now that the Syrians, perhaps with Saudi money, are going to be changing the residency status of the Palestinians living in Syria, perhaps making them Syrian citizens now. And from what I understand, the Saudis have indicated an interest in subsidizing the relocation of, quote, Fakistinian citizens of Lebanon and Gaza to Syria. This is to help the government there, the new government there, increase their Sunni population. Well, that group in Ramallah that I just mentioned can go there as well. Bibi and the army and the security services and Kogat and the border patrol and the police are very comfortable dealing with the PA. And that has to change immediately. If for no logical reason, the blood of our recent victim, Korban, is crying out from the ground. And we have to do things decisively now. If the Saudis want a Palestinian, some kind of Palestinian statelet or whatever, okay, these sheikhs with their emirate idea, I think, can satisfy the Saudis. Would much rather deal with these sheikhs as long as they understand that the land is ours. We have total 100% unqualified sovereignty over the land in Yehuda and Shamron. And okay, they can operate their clans. And that might just satisfy the Saudis. Certainly, having them talk to the Saudis might be a good first step. But before that, of course, Bibi has to come back from his jaunt in Washington and get down to business. The murder of this young man in Gush Etzion should be a bloody line in the sand. It cannot be business as usual with the PA anymore. They have to go. And we have enough forces right now to obliterate them. And we have to get on with that. Having said all of this, I want to just praise, if I can, Nir Barkat for his initiative with these 5 sheikhs. It's too bad that Bibi wasn't involved in this, but such is the case with him. He's more interested in Washington, if you know what I mean, rather than the nitty-gritty of eliminating our enemies. And certainly, his what he's been doing in Gaza um, should speak volumes as to his unprofessionalism and his inadequacy as a leader. We're just losing people every day. For what? So we can turn the area over to the PA, so that we can turn it over to the Egyptians. So why? I mean, that's all Bibi has been doing ever since October 7th, is trying to figure out how to get rid of Gaza, how to evade his responsibilities to annexing, depopulating, and repopulating with Jews this area of Eretz HaKodesh, of our God-given territorial inheritance from God. Of course, Bibi wouldn't know that because he's a bloody atheist, but that's another story. So right now, we have a lot of options on the table. The emirate idea put forward by these very brave sheikhs in Hebron, the need to eliminate the PA now from the ground up in Yehuda and Shomron, the need to sit down with the leaders, the corrupt leaders of our army and security forces that have been dealing with the PA, and tell them either, retire or get with the new program. Kogat in particular, I believe, has to be disbanded and its personnel reassigned to security operations in Yehuda and Shomron. All Kogat is an enforcement arm of the PA. So, on the eve of Shabbat, we are left with a single question right now. If Bibi Netanyahu and his corrupt government will not do what I just suggested, who will? Well, there are lots of people who would do it. Lots, actually. The media has been very good obscuring their existence. There are lots of people who would do it. Me? Of course. I think everybody knows exactly where my heart is when it comes to Yehuda and Shomron. But there are many other good people who could do a much better job of affirming and securing our presence, our God-given presence, our God-sanctioned presence in the territories. So think about, what I've just suggested, and talk to your Likud MKs, talk to them and tell them point blank, before Bibi went off to Washington, you all signed a letter affirming our right to sovereignty in Yehuda and Shomron. What did Bibi do with this? Use it as toilet paper? It's time the MKs of Likud find their voice and find their courage to tell Bibi right now, this is what you have to do. It can be done, all of it, within 1 week. Get rid of most of the people, of these animals in Yehuda and Shomron. Get rid of them. Send them to Syria. And at that point, deal with the sheikhs, other clan members in the territories, and just make sure they understand we own the land, and that they will be held accountable for the behavior of their members, their clan members. Okay, this is collective responsibility on their part. So, Shabbat Shalom. This is Jonathan Pollard.